Angela, Soul. Okay, thank you for letting me know, Mr. Software Stuff. And who else has popped in? Molly. Good now, love. How's everyone feeling? I'm ready to get to chapter 19. Good now. I can't figure out why I could find this on this phone but not on this phone, and it's the same count that I'm logged into. I'm like, what in the world? That's what I was messing around with, and I'm like, oh, it's time to go live. Good now, Jane. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Love it. You know the sound? Yeah, because this is the one that's attached to the JBL. I could definitely have switched, because this one is so loud. This taller speaker is so loud when I turn it off and turn it on and whatnot. And I was like, you know what? And of course I didn't think about it till like a minute before going live. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I'm logging to the same account. It should show in my history. Good now. Oop, I just knocked the trash can over. It'll be all right. Let's give it a couple minutes. I know this is not a normal day. I don't know what goes on usually on Sundays around this time, but here we are. My necklace. I love it. How's everyone's weekend going? Good now, Trey. Good now, Lynn. I hope it's going fantabuloso for everybody. Good now, love. Let's give it a couple more minutes. Hope everyone's having a pleasant weekend. I'm happy that I was able to get my first draft of my research paper done and turned in yesterday. So today I can do some recording. Hopefully everything goes smoothly, because you know how tech can be sometimes. Thank you for the love. It is. It's still not done. Like, this is the draft, so once I get feedback on that, then the final is due next Sunday, and then we have an oral presentation due the following week. Good now, Stephanie. Good now, Jen. And then capstone will be done. Technically the master's will be done. However, I added yoga teacher training to it, so I won't be fully graduated until next June. Stephanie, let me drink some agua. So good. Why is water so delicious? Who else has popped in? Miss Chrissy, good now, love. All right, let me do all my spieling. For those joining for the first time, welcome. We are reading chapter 19 of the book that you see in the corner of the screen, Letting Go. This book has a tendency to hold a mirror up. That can not always be our favorite things to hear, but in a loving manner, it kind of brings some aspects of us to light that we may want to address, or it can also confirm that we've been doing things in a manner that is supportive of our evolution. It can confirm that. So either way, my intent is to just share, bring awareness. I am not a licensed mental health professional, so if anything becomes too much, you can feel free to take care of yourself. Either you can step away from the live, or feel free to share in the chat, because you have a bunch of people here who would just love to love on you and assure you that all is well. Let's see what else. Today's chapter is on achievement of vocational goals. So this ought to be fun and interesting. Yesterday we talked about relationships, which is really good. Um, if this is your first time with us, there are recordings on my YT channel, and you can find me Antara Mastery. I'm Antara Mastery everywhere. Whether I post on everything is a different story, but Antara Mastery everywhere. So you can also find the links to all of those things in my profile. If you go to About tab on my profile and scroll down to the link that's POPL, it's a digital business card. And you can find the channel there along with some other things. Good now, Haley. And Flora, good now, love. I know that, and other Laura, I know that Haley she's had to use the tube channel to sometimes if she wasn't able to make the live. So I appreciate your thanks on that, Haley, just as a confirmation that recording it has been good and helpful for folks. Thank you. I've had these for like, I don't know, 10, 15 years. I have several styles and colors, and they have not gotten old, at least not for me. Yep, listened to the last chapter last night. Thank you. You're so welcome. I'm so glad. So glad to hear that. All right. I think we're at a good place to start. I think I've said everything I normally say, but welcome. Glad you're here. Yeah, just go. Let's just dive into it. I think, let me see if this is it's a relatively short chapter. But ready for the conversation. Let's see where this leads us today. I'm going to pause this. Actually, I'm going to turn this off because it'll be loud and turning off in the middle of me talking because I would have forgotten to turn it off. Then it'll startle me. Okay. Achievement of goals, vocational goals, actually. Feelings and abilities. Our thoughts determine the extent to which we manifest our talents and abilities, and they set the quality and quantity of our successes and failures. But what is it that determines and influences the direction of our thoughts? As we have seen, it is our feelings that determine and produce the kind of thinking that will lead us to success or failure in any endeavor. Good now, Marilyn. Oh, and someone else popped in. Farish, I know you told me how to say your name. You're going to have to correct me. Please tell me how to say your name properly. Generally, feelings are the key to the expansion or constriction of our talents, abilities, and actions. Generally, we are knowledgeable and well-trained in matters pertaining to the outer world, yet we are sometimes unknowledgeable and untrained in the inner world, the world of feelings. Because feelings determine thoughts, and the thoughts we hold in mind determine outcomes, it is important to clarify the relationship between our feelings and the freeing of our abilities so that they result in successful action. Farisha. Thank you, Farisha. I appreciate that. I really, really do. Because I really want to make sure I honor the vibrational frequency of anyone's name. So if I ever mispronounce anything, please let me know. Thank you, Farisha. Farisha. Hopefully I said that correctly, because I have learned that even phonetically, I sometimes don't do that correctly. So if even with the phonetic spelling, if I still break it, please find another way to phonetically spell it so I can honor your name. To summarize what we have said about the scale of consciousness and to make it simple, we can briefly categorize all feelings as either negative or positive, and of course, the thoughts that will result from them will be either negative or positive. Good now, Helen. Welcome back, love. Awesome, you're welcome. Good now, Verna. Negative feelings related to work. These feelings, sorry, Mr. Gingerbread Man is sitting in front of the monitor. These feelings are always unpleasant and range from mildly uncomfortable to painful. They instigate the process of thinking and ideation that leads to I can't and we can't, regardless of the event, situation, or problem in which the person is involved. Negative feelings arise when we dislike what we see, hear, think, or remember. Our reactions to disliking comes in the form of such feelings as anger, grief, and anxiety. Our usual way of dealing with unpleasant feelings is to suppress them, and because of this, we assume that these feelings are part and parcel of our thinking process. Make sure I read that right. Okay. This error results because the feelings of dislike are being processed through our thoughts. Suppressing these feelings does not make them disappear. On the contrary, they will reemerge as negative thoughts. Negativity does not exist within a situation or event. Rather, it resides in our reaction to the situation as we see it. When negative feelings are acknowledged and relinquished, the situation can rapidly change in appearance from impossible to easily manageable, workable, and even quite useful. One of the most prominent negative feelings that blocks success in professional life is that of envy. The underlying dynamic of envy is that when we see someone else getting ahead, this triggers our own sense of insecurity. It's not simply that we see the other person's achievement and feel envy. Rather, the other person's achievement triggers in us a feeling of lack or inadequacy about ourselves. It triggers the feeling, maybe I'm not accomplishing what I should be accomplishing, or maybe I won't be able to accomplish what I want to accomplish, or maybe my accomplishments aren't appreciated by others and go unnoticed. Envy is painful because it arouses our own sense of inadequacy, and then we often resent the person whose successes have inadvertently provoked this feeling. Unconsciously, this resentment fuels our endless desire for strokes, which, of course, do not come our way because our wantingness repels the very thing we want. As the cycle progresses, we feel increasingly dissatisfied and unhappy in our job and alienated from our colleagues. There may be the belief everyone is against me. Our family members may grow weary of our constant complaints about the situation at work. We may seek escape at the end of the day through endless television or overindulging in food, sleep, drugs, and alcohol. Good now, YR. I never understood leaning into envy. Yeah. Well, I don't think that they realize that's what's happening. Like, it's not. Most people don't say I'm jealous or I'm envious of someone. It's so quietly, I must not be good enough that it doesn't register as envy. At least that's my perspective on it. Because it's not really about the other person. It's about how they're feeling about themselves. It's just that they don't know to turn that inward, and so they see that other person as a threat, so to speak. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. What's the way out of this cycle of envy and dissatisfaction? As we've said before, the answer is to go within. Good now, Laura. With envy, we are constantly looking at others, evaluating their accomplishments, and comparing ourselves to them. We see the cost of this looking outward in the film Chariots of Fire, when one of the runners turned to see where his opponent was in the race. The moment he took his eyes off the finish line to compare himself to another runner, he lost that split second, which cost him the whole race. Good now, Angela. The man who won the race was motivated by the sheer love of running and to do his best. He didn't run to beat another. He didn't compare himself to other runners. He ran his best because he loved to run. When we look within ourselves, we see what the underlying feelings are that prevent our successes: competitiveness, self-doubt, insecurity, inadequacy, and the desire for approval. Are we willing to look at these feelings? Once our feelings are I didn't read that right. Are we willing to look at these feelings? Once our feelings are recognized, it becomes obvious to us that they work against us. They drain our efforts and impede our success in the world. Our self-doubts block the very recognition we seek. I definitely can attest to that. Let's see. I see new faces have popped in. Good now, Chris. What a beautiful green. Once we see the cost of negative feelings to our happiness and success, we will become willing to let go of them and the payoffs we get from them. For example, we become willing to let go of the cheap little satisfaction we get from blaming others for our lack of success. We become willing to let go of the sympathy we garner from those who listen to our complaints. When we let go of our feelings of inadequacy, we will find that envy of others disappears. We become like the winning runner in the Chariots of Fire who loves what he does, delights in his success and that of others, and has boundless energy to excel in the world. That was me. I didn't realize it was envy, but I would look at someone's like, well, good for you, you can do that, but I can't. And now it's like, ooh, when you win, I win, we all win. It took some work to get there, though. It was definitely cultivated. Positive feelings related to work. These are always felt as pleasant and include such feelings as joy, happiness, and security. They instigate a process of thinking and ideation that is exemplified by the thoughts I can and we can, regardless of the event, situation, or problem in which the person is involved. Positive feelings flow naturally when negative feelings are not in action. Nothing needs to be done to acquire positive feelings, as they are part and parcel of our natural state. This positive inner state is always there, and it is merely covered over by suppressed negative feelings. I love that point that the positivity is our natural state, and why negativity is so exhausting, because it takes effort to be negative. Like, it's not a conscious effort, but it takes effort to be there. So yeah, that's just what came to mind as I read that part. Um, when the clouds are removed, the sun shines forth. The freeing up of abilities, creative ideas, talents, and resourcefulness occurs automatically as a result of the positive state of mind that ensues when the negative aspects have been surrendered. Letting go of negativity frees up inspiration to create an endless flow of creative ideas. For example, there was the case of a producer of an award winning Broadway musical who attributed the success of the hit show to the letting go of negative feelings through the mechanism of surrender. There have been writers, artists, and musicians who came into a sudden breakthrough of inspiration as soon as a negative belief or self limitation was recognized and surrendered. The same experience has been recounted by scientists who suddenly just knew the formula that would cure a disease. It is as if the energy field of creative genius is available and waiting for us as soon as we surrender the clouds of negativity that prevent its revelation to us. I love that. I love all the interaction in the chat. That just makes me smile. Good now, Hannah. Did I miss anyone else? Okay, feelings and the decision making process. We can simplify the levels of consciousness into three major states: inert, energetic, and peaceful. These three states are related to the decision making process. The first state, inertia, is reflective of the emotional levels of apathy, grief, and fear. The nature of these feelings is to interfere with our concentration on the situation at hand and engage us instead in concentration on our own thoughts, most of which are in the realm of I don't know, I'm not sure, and I don't think I can. This successive concentration of our own uselessly cycling thoughts renders us temporarily unable to perceive the full dimension and possibilities of the overall situation at hand. While these negative thoughts and feelings are flowing, it is difficult for us to arrive at any decision. Sometimes we opt to stall the decision until we feel better. At other times, we proceed to arrive at a decision that we think will answer our questions or take care of a situation. Unfortunately, the decision that results is not sustainable in the long run because it is based on a feeling state, and when the feeling state changes, the decisions has to be changed with it. I talk a lot about this, especially with human design. Someone with an emotional solar plexus defined, the goal is to not make a decision when you're like excited or not so excited, because it usually is based on how you're feeling. So coming to a neutral place usually gives a more reliable decision. And this is just saying that in general for anybody, and I do agree with that. I actually wrote something about that the other day. Okay. Okay, this leads to inner insecurity, ambivalence, confusion, and a loss of confidence in us by those around us. In the computer language of garbage in and garbage out, the negative feeling state is the garbage in, and the decisions that come out of it must be on the same level. The second state, which is higher than inertia, is that of being energetic. The emotions underlying this state are those of desire, anger, and pride. The nature of these feelings is to interfere less with concentration than the previous lower state because some positive thoughts are allowed to flow through and mix with the negative feelings. This is the state of the go getter. Although things are accomplished, there is unevenness of performance because of the mixture of positive and negative thoughts and ideas. Negative feelings such as ambition, desire, or proving oneself tend to drive the go getter and at times the decision making is compulsive or impulsive. Characteristic of this level of consciousness is personal self gain as the primary motivating factor. Therefore, many of the decisions are unstable because they are based on a win lose situation rather than a win win situation. A win win decision would have occurred had the feelings and welfare of the other persons involved in the situation been taken into account. Using language relating to the body's energy centers, we say that people on this level are motivated by their solar plexus, third chakra. This means that they seek to attain success and to master the world, but they are self centered and driven by personal motives with little concern for the welfare of others or of the world in general. Because their decisions benefit primarily themselves, their success is limited to personal gain. Any benefit to the world is purely secondary, and the results, therefore, fall short of greatness. The third and highest level is a peaceful state based on the feelings of courage, acceptance, and love. Because these feelings are purely positive and non disturbing by their very nature, they allow us to concentrate completely on the situation and observe all of the relevant details. Because of an inner state of peace, inspiration brings forth ideas that solve the problem. In this state, the mind is free of worry and its ability to communicate and concentrate is unimpeded. From this state come solutions to problems that are placed in a win win context because everyone benefits, everyone lends their energy to the project, and success is shared by all. This approach not infrequently leads to greatness. It characterizes the noble projects that bring about far reaching improvements in our society. On this level, we discover that when everybody's needs in a situation are met, our own needs are fulfilled automatically. The unimpeded creative mind will work out a solution where everyone gains and no one loses. If we look at a situation and claim that a win win solution is not possible, that should warn us that we have some unsurrendered inner feelings blocking a possibly perfect solution. We need to remember the dictum that the impossible becomes possible as soon as we are totally surrendered to the situation. Feelings and sales ability. Inasmuch as sailing is part of many vocations involving either a product or idea or personal services, it is rewarding to look at the relationship between these basic levels of consciousness and sales ability itself. The lowest of or inertia state is governed by feelings of apathy, grief, and fear. It is obvious that sales ability is at its lowest. Salespersons in this state are often told by prospects that they are not interested in the product right now. This leads immediately to negative thinking and self criticism with thoughts such as, they don't want my product. The very nature of sales activity exposes salespersons to rejection and disappointment. They may temporarily escape these feelings by taking coffee breaks or indulging in personal conversations with other employees. However, these feelings have impaired their concentration and diminished their ability to produce resourceful ideas. The low self esteem creates vulnerability to discouragement, which in turn creates expectations of failure. When thoughts of failure are held in mind, failure is precipitated in the sales situation. At this point, by acknowledging the negative feelings and letting go of the payoff from each of them, a person can evolve to the next level. The next level, the energetic state, is based on feelings of desire, anger, and pride. It includes a greater degree of vigor and drive. This facilitates better concentration on the work goal. However, because the feelings are somewhat driven, there may be excessive verbalization, with more time spent talking to sales prospects than listening to them. This may typically lead to premature closings, pushing too hard, and creating marketing problems. Nonetheless, achievement of sales goals is possible on this level because of the higher energies invoked. One block to success on this level is the focus on self-gain and the underlying viewpoint, I win, they lose. This self-seeking motive is intuitively picked up by sales prospects and may lead to resistance. The thoughts characteristic of this level are along the lines of, I want to get them to buy it, so I'll get a good commission. On the highest or peaceful level, based on the feelings of courage, acceptance, and love, our ability to concentrate is at its highest. Salespeople on this level are able to listen carefully to the other person and place the sale in a context of what is beneficial to the buyer rather than to the seller. Because the mind is peaceful and creative, there are never a loss. They are never at a loss for creative ideas as to what will produce sales or what will turn problems into solutions. The person on this level often converts customers to friends, and the customers tend to become loyal. Achievement of sales goals on this level is assured because what is being held in mind is the positive situation of win win and the inner certainty that a win win solution can be created in the situation. Often surrendering to what appears to be an impossible situation quickly turns into a positive experience. This is exemplified by the case of someone who had been working in an art gallery. Sales were slow. She hadn't made a sale in weeks. She tried a number of consciousness techniques within herself and worked very hard at it. She utilized visualization, positive thinking, advanced sales techniques, and written affirmations. However, nothing came of it. Her frustration mounted progressively with the accompanying feeling, I can't. Finally, in desperation, she just let go completely and surrendered all of her pent up feelings. Inside of her, she suddenly felt free of all the efforting, trying, and striving. The inner tension disappeared, and instead, she felt at peace as she went to work that morning at the gallery. Within the first hour at work, she sold 2 copies of a sculpture, which interestingly enough was titled Letting Go. Executives of a number of companies have documented similar breakthroughs. For instance, a partner in one of the country's most prestigious accounting firms, after experiencing success with inner surrender, eventually left the firm in order to share with others what he considered to be the most beneficial thing he had encountered in his life. He wanted to introduce the approach to a number of large corporations. He studied the outcome at one of the largest insurance companies in America. His study found that within 6 months of learning the technique, the insurance agent's sales increased by 33% over a control group. He conducted that success in the world. He concluded that success in the world is related to our ability to concentrate, which means the ability to keep our attention on one thing at a time without interference of other thoughts or feelings. A mind that is concentrated on a positive thought has the power to increase the likelihood that the positive thought will materialize in the world of events. The most successful people in the world are those who hold in mind the highest good of all concerned, including themselves. They know that there is a win-win solution to every problem. They are at peace within themselves, which allows them to be supportive of other people's of the other potential success of others. They do work which they love, and so they feel continually inspired and creative. They do not seek happiness. They have discovered that happiness is a byproduct of doing what they love. A feeling of personal fulfillment comes naturally from their positive contribution to the lives of others, including family, friends, groups, and the world at large. That is chapter 19. Any thoughts? Pushbacks? Questions? Good now, V. Good now, Octavia. Who else has popped in? Charlotte, good now. I'm going to... So loud. Why art thou so loud? Okay. Violet 108. I'm late because there are 20 teachers live now and I ran from room to room to find you. I get it. I figured there was a lot going on right now. Thank you for popping in. I love it. I love it, love it. I look for one of your nearest lives coming up just in case you did. The soonest one I could find was the 12th. Helen, I hope your heart is filled with love and light today. Thank you, Jamie, for loving on Helen. Good now, Charlotte. Much love from San Diego. AA. Awesome. Good now, Miss Bree. Who else has popped in? Anna. Jen. I think I did say good now to Jen, but good now anyway. Deanne, good now. Yeah, that was a short chapter. Any thoughts? Any pushbacks? Any confirmations? Has anybody experienced any of what we just read about? Or I'm open. I love emojis. Like, what says you? And good now to whoever's on the tubular of you. Are y'all still pondering? Good now to the two folks on the tube. Welcome. My whole careers have been in sales and I enjoyed it and never felt pressure to make sales. I was a natural salesperson and listening was my super skill. I opened a denim shop. It was successful because I wasn't pushy. I missed the boutique. Oh, that's so cool, Laura. The energetic state can be confusing because you can feel some success. I could, yeah, Trey. I love that he pointed out how uneven the success tends to be in that state. And yeah, it is. It can be confusing. You think you're doing what needs to be done. But I appreciate how he gave clues as to what state you're in. Thank you for that. Via sending love to you, Helen. Could have used this in my previous job, but can use it in the future. For sure, for sure. That's awesome, Laura. I love that. That was a natural ability for you. I will say for me, when I first started coaching, when I first started, I did have a retail business. It was all virtual other than pop-ups and stuff. My self-esteem just really got in the way. So mine was always, I was at the level of inertia, fear. It was a lot of fear and self-doubt. Soul says, it's difficult being retired, but I'm constantly reminding myself I'm doing the work, healing, and preparing for the next step in my journey. Absolutely. Absolutely, you are. Professional jealousy comes to mind. It does make sense to me. We all have different skills. When we can all lean into our strength, it pushes everything forward. Everyone wins. Yeah, I agree. I wonder if professional jealousy can be used as a motivator and inspiration, so to speak. Like, how come I didn't think of that? Let me dig in a little bit more and try to open up my mind a little bit more. Maybe at that point it's not called jealousy though. I don't know. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts. Helen says, thanks everybody for giving me space and so much kindness. Felt so much love from you all. Feeling emotionally hungover, but also relieved at being really honest in how I feel. Feeling like I'm wrapped up in a warm blanket by you all. You absolutely are, Helen. I'm glad you chose to come back and you keep going. Haley says, decades ago when fresh out of college, took a sales job because of lack of employment opportunities at the time. Cold calls and rejection is tremendously energy sapping. It was great learning experience immediately out of college. I could see that, Haley. Yeah, I never had the stomach for it. Nowadays I could do it, I'm sure. But then I was not. Nope. That would have sent me in a spiral of depression and more self-loathing because that's the state I was already in years ago. So I admire those who were like, yeah, it's all good. Next, I'll learn this, that, or the other. Deanna, I didn't get a card for you. Good now, Deanna. So anyone who's new here, good now, Hamila, Deanna, and Violet 108 are also teachers here on IT. If there's any other teacher in the house, please let me know so I can give you a shout out. Good now, Paul. Where am I? Kimberly, I love it. How to sell to a person living currently in fear. Are you asking? Oh, so the person that you're selling to is living in fear? Is that what you're asking, Kimberly? Let's see, where am I at? Healthy competition. Thank you, Jamie. Da, 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 da. Hey, Jamie. I love it. Thank you, Susan and Jamie. I love it. Farisha says, I'm in this state. I want to start working because working on it myself, and I've done some work together, but I'm so scared that if I continue, I'll just find out that I won't be able to sustain my lifestyle. But corporate jobs are just so misaligned for me now. Not sure what to do. Are you talking about entrepreneurship, Farisha? Or what is the fear around? Sounds like we needed some clearing here today. Jen says, feeling this lesson deeply, I'm in a very difficult situation at work with what can only be described as a toxic workplace. That is so challenging. But still, my own self-esteem and need to please, need to meet and exceed expectations, these are things I need to work on. It's led to some real depression and struggles. Thank you, Jen, for sharing that. Yep, I'm going to pull out we're going to do some clearing today. That is on order. Okay, thank you both for sharing that. I appreciate that you know that we got you and that you can share what is like. It's really hard to confront. Where is my document? There we are. Okay. Let me catch up. Oh, thank you, Deanna. I love how V. Sorry, my writing doesn't make sense. Hopefully you can understand it. I think I do. Let me know if I did understand it, Farisha. It sounded like corporate jobs are like not it right now in this season of your life. You're kind of wanting to explore something on your own, but also afraid to because you don't know if you can make it sustainable. So let me know if I understood that right. Kimberly says, well, I suppose finding my letting go via your reading. Okay. Helen says, thank you, Verna. When we have the freedom to lean into our strengths, it also creates space to teach our strengths to others. Absolutely. Okay. I love it. Yippee is coming. All right. Okay. Let me make sure I have a clear understanding of where we need to address with I see Farisha's giving me a more context, which I appreciate. I'm getting out my notepad. And let me see. Kimberly, so if I understood that correctly, if you're in sales, Kimberly, and you're trying to sell to someone who is in a fear mode, it's not, whatever decision they make won't be aligned. If they make a decision in fear mode, they're feeling pressured or obligated. So I would just share the information and let them decide, let them come to a place where they are comfortable in their decision. Okay, so Jen, let me get Jen's self-esteem. Hold on, let me get my self-esteem. And of course, Jen, I'm going to ask like more clarifying questions if you're open to that. I just need to have a session that's called Hot Seat Coaching. Okay, let me catch up. Every time I say let me catch up, I think about ketchup, and I always want French fries. But anyway, okay. Farisha says, yes, I'm trying to start my own business, and I've started working on it, and I've gotten fair in just a couple of months, but I'm scared to actually start validating and actually reaching out to find clients because I'm scared I might reach a point where I realize that what I've started cannot actually sustain my life. But I want to surrender not the fear exactly, but to surrender into trying. Got it. Okay. Thank you for that. I'm just copying and pasting real quick for now. The one thing that does come to mind right away, Farisha, with that is you won't know until you try, because once you actually go all in, that's where more clarity comes, and you start to pivot and navigate until you find something that you can land on something that is sustainable, so to speak. I will say if you're working a job that is supporting your lifestyle right now, it is scary. I have not even like I still work a job on and my coaching is on the side. Um, but there's so many countless stories of people who are just like, you know what, I'm going all in, and they go all in on yourself. Honestly, if you can do that, you kind of make it. There's no choice. You're like, I'm going to have to make this work. But definitely coming from it, approaching it from a place of fear will make it harder. You're climbing up a hill. And I've seen that just in my business as it has grown. The more I have done inner work on myself, but I actually love what I do at work too. So I actually do a lot of the same things that I do in my business, which is probably why I'm still there. It's just fun. Okay. Stephanie says, I voiced my thoughts on cold calling to a big corporation. The days of cold calling should be over. Only 1 in 100 people answered their phones. Yeah, this is after my 30-year teaching career going into GM positions at a health and wellness business. I let them know I would not cold call. I'm a people person for sure. Like I look at that, I was like, who's calling me? if I don't know you, you're not going to be answered. Text me first, because if I didn't ask for this phone call, no soliciting. I'm not. We're just too busy these days. Even more like same with emails. Like if I did not reach out first, I don't read emails that are cold calling emails, because a lot of times they approach it like, hey, you need this. I'm like, we didn't even have a conversation. How do you know what I need? So I just completely like, nope. You didn't even take time to figure out who I am. So that part. Okay. Let me see. Jamie says, I found I do better working in smaller companies. Where am I at? There is more of a common goal feel instead of climbing the ladder feel. I could see that, Jamie. I like that. Thank you, Kimberly. Haley says, Jen, know this is a time of yourself being tested. Thank you, Haley. Toxic work environments challenge all you know to be true for yourself. Buckle down with us, people in your tribe. That was the other thing I was going to point out too, Haley, so thank you for bringing that up. You will persevere and come out on top, even in a toxic workplace. Yes. When you do work on that, the toxicity won't impact you. We kind of talked about that in one of the previous chapters too. When you raise your vibration, that toxic energy can't even really affect you. And you'll be able to see, am I still supposed to be here? You'll like, once your lessons from that environment have been learned, I feel like stuff opens up for you to direct you to your next path. And that could even still be there, just maybe a different part of the company. Let's see. Their fear may create self-doubt. Kimberly says, so I must let go of outcomes, even though outcome will greatly affect me. Yep. Hot seat coaching, yes. Yes, I'll do the same. Surrender into trying, because hopefully clarity will surface. Yes, you surrendering of the outcomes. We talked a lot about that yesterday with relationships in general. Let me see if I can find a good example of why that matters. But basically, it matters. I liken having a need to like having a need to control the outcome or expect an outcome, expect a specific outcome is like energetically strangling somebody's like, you better do this. This is what I want. Like, and they feel it. They don't know what they're like. They feel they're being strangled, but they don't know what that is. And so they're like, nope, no, I don't know why. There's just something not here. I don't get it. So when you let go of that, it gives them the opportunity, it gives them the space energetically to be to consider what you're saying, to actually hear what you're saying. And then if it's a no, y'all are both okay because one, neither one of y'all are expecting anything and there's no tension there. There's a more of a respect. There's like, I respect that because you're coming to a decision from a more informed place. You inform them, they're like, they can consider the things without being energetically choked. And more often than not, they, like it said in this last part, when you have that inner peace about you and you don't care how things come out. I mean, you care, but you're not trying to control how they come out. Then more people, customers become your friends, and they become loyal. I've seen it. I've done it. Like I am a loyalist for sure. Like if I find someone I like working with, I will go to them until they retire, and then I'm sad because then I gotta find somebody else. But yeah, that's what it looks like when you let go of the outcome. You don't want someone making a choice out of fear because then they'll have resentment against you because if they're doing that, they probably don't even realize that's what they're internalizing, and then they'll blame you for buying the thing that they weren't really ready to buy. So coming at it like open, they there's just purity there, if that makes sense. Okay. I love watching you, hot seat coach. You do us all. Oh, thank you. You do us all so good now. We love you. Love you too, Haley. Catch up. It does. my my mind just I just sit back and watch my own self, and I'm like, who is this chick? But thank you, Jamie. I'm glad I'm glad that was entertaining to you. Verna says, I left a job of 10 years thinking that it was toxic for me, but then after years of working on myself, I have realized that it was me that was toxic. Oh, I really needed to leave that job to figure it out, though. That's awesome, Verna. Thank you for sharing that. That happens too sometimes. And if when I'm talking with someone at work and they're like, they don't like the job or whatever, it's literally the one. If they're coming to me for advice, otherwise, I'm a projector. You won't hear me unless you ask, for the most part. But if they're asking, I'm like, first look in, because if it's coming from within, it's going to follow you. It's not the location. So no matter where you go, you're going to experience that toxicity because it's coming from internally. It's the lens through which you're perceiving things a lot of times. Like he kind of talked about here too. It's like if you're coming from a place of fear or negativity, that's what's painting the event. Like all three versions of people can look at the same event and have completely different perspectives. He actually earlier in the book he did and I read it before. He did a scenario base, which was a bit outlandish, but it made the point, like how you respond to different to the same event if you're coming the different lenses. And I can read that piece again if y'all would like me to. But let me catch up on the chat first. Frisha says, I'm in a highly toxic work environment right now. My boss's energy depletes me. I can tell he does not like me, or maybe it's not personal, but our work relationship is very misaligned. It's so draining. The energy I get from him is scary, actually. The job does support my lifestyle, and I should be extremely grateful to have it. I can tell I piss people off when I complain about it. Frisha, what have you taken in since you've written that share? Thank you for sharing that, by the way. And just some of the things that I've said and that Verna said. Is there another perspective coming up for you? I'd love to hear your thoughts. We probably have already shared it. I just haven't caught up on chat yet. Yo, I might be ordering Five Guys, y'all. French fries. Their fries are everything for me. Helen says, I have a question, Nicole. I thought we are driven biologically from discomfort to comfort, so I am thirsty and I go to drink, or hungry and eat, sad and seek solace, anger and seek to find resolution and peace. Is he saying that our effort is to return to an underlying positive then rather than the underlying being a negative we are making the effort to remove? One seems a path of ease, the other a continual fight with ourselves. Is my mindset then setting me up for a fight to get to peace when in fact he is saying our natural state is already peace? Helen, you already, that is 100 trillion thousand million percent correct. We are literally underneath all the things, we are peace. We are peace, we are bliss. That is one of the biggest things that I've learned just in my master's program studying consciousness and human potential. When you are able to connect with the unbounded version of you, the part that is in the unified field, the part that is connected to everyone, the part of you that is beyond thought, that is who you really are, and that is bliss. And that's everyone's birthright. All of the things on top of that, it's so funny that my friend sent me a video this morning that is almost super applicable. But on top, anything outside of that has been learned either from protection to protect yourself or taught. So it's you can't make this stuff up. This morning my friend sent me a video. He's like, this is such a great reminder. And basically it was a study. It was a study on like what the only two fears you were born with. And the study, what they did was they put kids in a room with a bunch of snakes, and the parents were in the like watching from behind the glass, and the parents were freaking out, and the kids were just like, they were trying to reach for some of the snakes. They were cool. They were like, it's all good. Like, what are y'all? They didn't even notice the parents. The two things that you're actually born with are fear of falling and a fear of loud noises. Everything else is learned, to include fear of rejection and fear of certain things or whatever. So yes, you are indeed pure bliss and peace at the very, very core of your being. And our job, and which is why inner peace, world peace through inner peace, that inner peace is you connecting to your deeper self and living from that place. So yes, that is he always would say, we're born into it and we spend our whole life trying to get back there. But we don't have to spend our whole life if we can learn the technique sooner rather than later. But yeah, thank you for asking that, Helen. It's a beautiful question. Laura says, for me, if I didn't get the chance that time, I would either find a time that does work. It could be a year from now. Awesome. Yeah, I love the way your brain was, how you were born, Laura, because I am not that person. I was a self-doubt, self-loathing. I can't was like such a big phrase in my vocabulary. I don't know how. Yeah. Stephanie number 2, good now. First time at this live. Appreciate the conversation and sharing. Had to find ketchup emoji for you, Nicole. Oh, there isn't one. So using the tomato instead to say, let us catch up. I love it. Oh, let us catch you smile. Thank you, Stephanie number 2. That's so sweet. I receive it. Now they need to do a ketchup emoji. They still need to do a shimmy emoji too, because y'all know I'm always... Thank you, Stephanie number 2. V says, same Nicole. Love warm handoffs, no cold calls. Yeah, man. You love the tomato. Yeah, man. No, you know what, V, I didn't even notice that you didn't spell the name correctly initially. Hamila says, toxic workplaces were fun for trying energy experiments. I used to enclose my boss in a big pink bubble to make her softer. I love that, Jamila. What was the outcome? Like, what was the experience? That sounds so fun. Yeah, we should try that. Anybody who just seems like mad at the world, which from anytime I come across someone who seems mad or negative, I try to send extra love as long as I'm in a high place myself, because I know that I say this over and over, if it's coming out, that means it's so much internally that it needs to come out a little bit because it's too much. So I'm like, I can't even imagine how you're treating yourself. Um, Farisha says, yes, the fear is doubt. V and I connect that fear of trying and failing. But if I don't try, I won't. I will never know. So I will try. I will keep going. Absolutely, it's the trying is actually it's information, right? When something fails, it's really just like they say who was it? Thomas Edison didn't find. I don't remember something about it wasn't failure. It was just 10 ways of not doing the thing. 10,000 ways of not doing a thing. He just found 10,000 ways not to do it. Um, but yeah, failure. Unfortunately, I think school gave us the tough connotation of failure, right? Like failing a grade. Failure. There's one. It was one athlete, and I can't remember who it was. Her parents or her dad would ask what she failed at today and celebrate that with her because she learned. Because he's like, "What did you learn from it?" And that's what um that's that I like. I love that because like why isn't that more taught? I mean, I made failure into an acronym. Let me see if I can find where the paper is. Kimberly Maharishi International University is the university I'm attending. I'll soon be graduating from. Nicole's definition of failure. It's a well, it's not it's figuring it out as you what did I write? As you move intentionally without losing focus on the ultimate goal you envisioned. Resetting brings about excellence. That I had to get my mind out of the idea that failure was a bad thing. So I'm like, how can I shift this perspective of what failure actually means? And honestly, who judges failure? Like, who is the judge of that? Who's determining what failure is? To welcome the unpleasant but necessary, it helps to find a new perspective. Failure shows you're trying, you're learning, you're willing to figure something out. It speaks to how bad you want something or seeing the big picture and understanding that it's part of the process. Failure is the path. That's what I wrote. I don't know when I wrote that. I'm like, oh, that's good. You ever do that? You read something you wrote, and you're like, wow, I wrote that. But yeah, so that's that. Okay, now I need to catch back up on the chat because I see some other things here. Let's see. Ooh. Learning non-striving. I love that, Susan. Thank you. Very helpful. Blind spots. You're welcome, Kimberly. Oh my God, yes. What craziness runs in my mind? I feel like me and Deanna could probably have a crazy conversation. That's powerful insight, Verna. Thank you, Helen. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Please reread if you're able to. Yes. Are you talking about the failure or the different perspectives, looking through different? Yes, I can do that. I gotta remember what it was. Let me see. Mm-hmm. And then I'm trying to remember what part it was in. Bumper. Yep. Yep. Okay. And now I'll read that in a second. Do I see Matt? Okay, hold on. Gotta catch up. How did you grow beyond the I can't? Ooh, that's a good question, Kimberly. Give me one moment. Let me catch up. Let me French fry the chat. Hamila, when I was in a toxic work environment, I used to do that with blue and purple light. It was helpful. I love that. Okay. Our natural state is already peace. Oh my God, Nicole, I had no idea. Yes, my love. I know, because they don't teach us that in school. It's rude. But yeah. Let me put this here before I forget. I have realized that I'll come back to something and then forget at the end of the chat. I mean, at the end of the conversation. So I'm grabbing these so I can remember to come back to it. Bree says, I was recently working in a toxic environment. As an empath, I absorbed a lot of toxic energy from leaders. I was able to find peace the last several months before I got let go by working on my passion of writing and connecting with affinity groups both helped my self-esteem. Awesome, Brie. I love that. You're welcome, Kimberly. Failure just teaches us what doesn't work in the moment. In that situation, there's always more possibilities. We all fail and we all succeed all the time. Super facts. Reframe, regroup, regenerate, restorative rest. I love it, Robin. Matt. I found a card before I hopped in here. Hee. For anyone who's new here, Senor Matt is in the house. A beautiful musician. Yeah, he's I don't know where physician came from, but he's a physician of music. I was able to pop in briefly on your live last night after I finished writing my paper, Matt. It was beautiful, of course. I have changed my I can't to I don't want to at this time. Yep, I love that. It is taking ownership of what the true, really taking ownership of yourself. Failure is just practice with extra steps. I love that, Matt. That's so wise. So wise. Okay. So many windows open. Okay. Is the failure definition available on your Google Docs? I can add it to that, Helen. Definitely. Brie, I'm quietly hoping to be let go. Farisha, you were on yesterday or no? Because that hoping to be let go energetically, you probably will. You need the sweet severance to continue working on my business passion unencumbered for a couple months. Man, careful if you don't really want that, because we need to grade ourselves higher in life. We fail ourselves too easily. I love that, Hannah, for sure. Deanna says, yes, I just flipped the script on my own mind, and it was like, no, you have to beat yourself up. No, you don't have to beat yourself up. To celebrate delay was exactly what was needed for divine timing. Yep, amazing Matt is here. All right. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to first read the part of the book that that gives a perspective from the different levels of consciousness. So this is like all of them, from shame to peace. So same scenario, but you'll see how the different levels perceive the scenario. Again, this is a bit over exaggerated, but you'll get the point. All right, so let's say, for example, let me see if back up where so this is relationship of consciousness to stress and disease. That's what this chapter was about. I mean, that's what this paragraph was about within this chapter. So let's say, for example, that we have parked our car, and just as we get out, the car parked in front of us backs up into the car with a thud. Our bumper and the front of the fender are dented. Here is what the different levels of consciousness might sound like. Shame. How embarrassing. I'm such a lousy driver. I can't even park a car. I'll never amount to anything. Guilt. I had it coming. How stupid I am. I should have done a better job of parking. Apathy. What's the use? Things like this always happen to me. I probably won't collect on the insurance anyway. There's no use talking to the guy. He'll just sue me. Life stinks. Grief. Now the car is ruined. It will never be the same. Life is grim. I will probably lose a bundle on this one. Fear. This guy is probably furious. I'm afraid he'll hit me. I'm afraid to talk back to him. He'll probably sue me. I'll probably never get the car fixed right again. Car repair people always rip me off. The insurance company will probably get out of this one, and I'll be the one left holding the bag. Desire. I can make a bundle on this one. I think I will hold my neck and fake a whiplash. My brother-in-law is a lawyer. We'll sue the pants off this idiot. I'll get a settlement on the highest estimate and get it fixed at a cheaper place. Anger. That damned idiot. I think I'll teach this guy a lesson. He deserves a good punch in the nose. I'll sue his pants off and make him suffer. My blood is boiling. I feel shaky with rage. I could kill that bastard. Pride. Look where you're going, you fool. Oh God, the world is full of such bumbling idiots. How dare he damage my new car? Who the hell does he think he is? He's probably got cheap insurance. Thank God mine is the best. Courage. Oh well, we've both got insurance. I'll take down the data and handle it okay. A nuisance, but I can handle it. I'll talk to the driver and get it settled out of court. Neutrality. These things happen in life. You don't drive 20,000 miles a year without an occasional fender bender. Willingness. How can I help this guy calm down? He doesn't need to feel upset about it. We'll just exchange the necessary insurance information and be okay with each other. Acceptance. It could have been worse. At least nobody's hurt. It's only money anyway. The insurance company will take care of it. I suppose the guy's upset. That's only natural. Such things can't be helped. Thank God I'm not running in this universe. It's only a minor nuisance. Reason. Let's be practical here. I'd like I'd like to take care of it as quickly as possible so I can get on with this day's activities. What's the most efficient way to resolve our problem? Love. I hope this guy isn't upset. I'll calm him down, says to the other driver. Relax, it's all okay. We've both got insurance. I know how it is. It happened to me just the same way. It was a minor dent and we'd get it fixed in one day. Don't worry. We won't report it if you don't want to. We can probably deduct it and avoid a raise in insurance premium. There's nothing to be upset about, reassures the upset driver, putting an arm around his shoulder in fellow human camaraderie. Peace. Well, isn't that fortuitous? I was going to have the rattle in the bumper fixed anyway, and the fender already had a little dent, so now I'll get it fixed and for nothing. Say, aren't you George's brother-in-law? You're just the guy I wanted to see. I have some great business I think you can handle for me. We'll both benefit. You look like the right person to research it for us. How about a cup of coffee and we can talk it over? By the way, here's my insurance card. Say, that's the same insurance company as yours. What a coincidence. Everything's working out for the best. No problem. Walks off humming with new friend, the incident already forgotten. So, that is how. that is, as you could imagine, that was hyper exaggerated and nobody talks like most of these, but you get the point. You're welcome, Kimberly. And I've experienced the different levels personally. Like most of mine was apathy, shame, and fear is where I spent a lot of my life. And I'm more in acceptance, love, and peace at this point. That was help from Deanna. Good. Well, bumpers are for bumping. Facts. Bumpers are for bumping. I love it. So the next thing I want to address, Kimberly says, how did I get beyond I can't? Several ways. One, of course, a lot of inner work. But one thing I love to share is looking for evidence to the contrary is how I call it. So I may do a video or talk on this, but looking for the evidence to the contrary. I am willing to bet that whatever is you're saying you can't do, there is something in your past that you actually did accomplish that was very similar or took the same similar effort. And so it's like, I bet you there's something I've done that was similar to this that improves otherwise, that disproves the fact that I can't. Also, how do I know I can't? I haven't even tried. And I know that saying I can't is kind of a protection from disappointing yourself. I spent so much of my life like so worried that if I tried and failed, that it showed that I was a failure, so I just didn't try. And so one, getting beyond that was helpful. Coming to a place of acceptance that, as Matt said, failure is just practice with extra steps. So yeah, those were some of the things I did, but it took work. I had to literally rewire my brain and my whole nervous system to start to accept the new way of being, because it's going to fight you initially, because your brain is like, I don't know this version. This is not who I've known all my life. And so it's going to try to keep you safe because this is it. This is who I know. And if you've ever watched The Croods, I love that cartoon movie. If you ever watched The Croods, never not be afraid. Not be afraid is something how he said. Like anything that's new is scary, don't do it. So is understanding that from a neurochemical perspective, from a brain health perspective, it's going to take some conscious effort. I will say the ease clearing that I do really helps kind of speed up the process, because it's clearing out the energy that is creating the I can'tness, for lack of a better word. But if that is not available to you at any given point, it's just recognizing, once you become aware that you're doing it, is choosing to not. It's like choosing to in this moment, okay, I just realized I just said I can't do that. But is that true? And actually, on one of my videos, I do have on here, the Good Now Pause, is questioning thoughts. Is that true? Can I actually believe that that is, like, is there, can I actually prove that that thought is true? So that's the progression of me getting out of the I can't. That, and I had a friend who would used to, he used to fuss at me every time I said I can't. He just would stop listening. Like, I don't even want to hear it, Nicole. Um, Helen says, from shame all the way to acceptance and peace. That's quite a journey, Nicole. Fair dues to you. Thank you. It was not easy. It might, like Helen has expressed before too, is your internal is fighting you. One of my things I would do is I would become aware, and then I would be ashamed to shift because then I'd feel like a hypocrite. I'm like, how do I go from this low state and all of a sudden to this state? Like, what is wrong with me? So I would beat myself up for wanting to elevate myself. And I'm like, how helpful is that? Not. It's not helpful at all. So I didn't have to. I chose to get to a place where I let go of in my own, like I get embarrassed. I used to get embarrassed in front of myself. It was just interesting. I had just battling myself. It was not productive at all. Verna says, I went through some of those steps yesterday with something my roommate did. Went from getting mad at her, then mad at myself, then accepting the situation and moving forward. Yeah. And a lot of times we're not really mad at the person, we're mad at ourselves. We're mad at ourselves for some aspect of that, and it's just being projected onto the other person or to the experience or the event. Deep bows of gratitude for sharing this journey. You're so welcome, Kimberly. Wild synchronicity. The Thomas Edison quote is the main motivation app quote right now. Are you serious? I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that don't work. Oh my goodness, that won't work. I did not know that. I forget to look at that because it's not on my home screen. Wow, that is so cool. I love it. Just like that, and then my friend sending me that video earlier about the fear. Like, what? Good now, Hannah. Hi, Nicole. I'm learning from you how to change my language to higher vibing language. Yay! That stuff works, y'all. It works. You will feel your body. You can feel it. Like if you were not initially, thank you, Matt. If you were not initially used to talking that way, which I was not, I felt it in my body when I would talk more positive, and it just would feel like, I don't know. It was just a resistance. It was a resistance because it's like if I be positive and then things don't work out, then what next? And so it just takes conscious effort. Hence the Crown Workshop, conscious choice. But yeah. So, okay, what else are we addressing? We are addressing low self-esteem. Thank you, Matt. That is crazy. Thank you. Do. Fear, self-esteem. Let me see. Jen is not coming up as self-esteem. It's coming up as self-trust for me when I do a test on that. Does that resonate? Are you still here? Because I know I've been talking. That was like 20 years ago when you talked about this. And Farisha, with fear of trying is what I'm getting for you. And just the collective in general, because I tap into the collective energetically. And so those are the two that I'm getting. Fear of trying and with fear of lack of self-trust. Thank you, Farisha. Awesome. All right. We'll do those two for now and see what comes up. Good now. Oh, Jen. Jen went to the tubular. Did you hear my question? What I got for you is self-trust. Okay, cool. Helen says, when I'm able to be positive, it feels like I'm lying. Yes, that was my experience too. Like I'm being silly and the negative is somehow more real. Helen, this is why I love celebrating you, chick. That was me. You actually described it. I see. I appreciate that, Jen. That is, you described it even better than I could. That was me. I felt guilty. I felt like the lies you tell. Can you provide the source where you read about the car accident? I'm interested in reading more. Yes, it's actually this book. That was the chapter. What chapter is this? The book that you see that we're reading now. It's the same book. It is chapter something. What chapter is this? Chapter 14. Mm-hmm. Yup. You're welcome. And before all that, he actually goes into the different levels of consciousness, because they all carry a different vibrational frequency and energy. And so he talks about that a lot as well. And if you want to listen to all what we read, chapter 19, all the chapters up to now, it's on my YouTube channel as well. And you can find the link in my bio if you would like to catch up that way, if you don't already have the audiobook. Okay. With fear of trying and with self-trust. Okay. All right. So anyone who is new to silly and awkward were the feelings I had when I was rewiring my thoughts. I love it. Mine was like, you lie. That's the positivity, synchronicity, two sweet words put together. I love it. Positively synchronistic. Anyone who is new to the way I do the ease clearing method. Ease stands for Energy Alignment System Express. What it means is, so if you know consciously, like Farisha's like, I'm trying to do something, but I feel like there's this hesitation. That's because her subconscious is like, nope, we're not doing that. What if we fail? But her conscious is like, come on, can we? And so ease puts them online together, so that the unconscious and the conscious are like, all right, we got this, we're going. And same with Jen. Jen is like, I know I can do this, and subconscious is like, I don't believe it. Nope. So the point of clearing out the lack of self-trust is to get the unconscious aligned with the conscious. When I first began saying positive talk to myself, it felt fake and cheesy. That was me too, Haley. I didn't stop, and eventually I began thinking positively more naturally without feeling anything about it is fake. It's all me for real now, right, Haley? Same. And yeah, so that's kind of the same concept. I actually wrote an article a long time ago about how to write affirmations so that your brain will believe it and not like argue against you. And then I learned more about neuroplasticity and all this and that, and I was like, that's how affirmations actually can work. You don't have to believe it. Just keep saying it. At some point it rewires, and at one day you'll say something like, I am pretty, and you'll be like, oh wait, I am pretty. Instead of, no, you're not. Brenda says, Helen, yes, it does feel like lying, but the more you say the positive, even if you don't feel it, it will start to feel more positive every time you say it. Yes. Good now, Tatiana. Okay, ease. If you're not familiar with ease, the way it works, I kind of explained the mechanism of action. The way we do it is I'm tapping into you all collectively, energetically, and I will test the first phrase with fear of trying against a list of common emotions, and anything that tests weak, I will ask you to take a deep breath in and hold, and I will say a statement to release that energy, because I'm your proxy at this point. You don't have to do anything but hold your breath and listen to me talk. You don't have to try to repeat it in your head. You don't have to try to say it out loud, because holding your breath and talking is really hard. So me talking is you talking, because I'm your proxy. Yeah, and then you'll start to feel a shift. It may not happen right away, or it could. You may already see something that you would have resisted or been hesitant about. You're not as hesitant as you were before. So of course, this is because I'm tapping into the collective. It works. It's kind of like peeling a very top layer off of things. If it applies to you, when I work with you one-on-one, I can go a lot deeper. So that is also an option there. There's a free consultation link in my bio as well. So the first one we'll do is with fear of trying, and then we'll do with self-trust. And let me drink some water first because water helps connect to the divine. Okay. With fear of trying. Anxiety, deep breath in. I release all anxiety with fear of trying. Exhale. Confusion, deep breath in. I release all confusion with fear of trying. Exhale. Disappointment, deep breath in. I release all disappointment with fear of trying. Exhale. Fear, go figure. Deep breath in. I release all fear with fear of trying. Exhale. Embarrassment, deep breath in. I release all embarrassment with fear of trying. Exhale. Hold on. Pressure, deep breath in. I release all pressure with fear of trying. Exhale. Resistance, deep breath in. I release all resistance with fear of trying. Exhale. Worry, deep breath in. I release all worry with fear of trying. Exhale. Certainty, deep breath in. I release all blocks with certainty with fear of trying. Exhale. Enjoyment, deep breath in. I release all blocks with enjoyment with fear of trying. Exhale. Letting go, deep breath in. I release all blocks with letting go with fear of trying. Exhale. Okay, that's all I've got for the collective at the moment. How's everyone feeling? Drink some water. Move. That's energy moving out of you. Thanks so much. You're so welcome, Farisha. Just get it out. Just let it out. Is it the end of the month yet? I'm ready to dance again. Helen says, Verna, I agree with you. I think my stumbling block is the physical pain I'm experiencing. I have come across teachers whose work with chronic pain I am starting to use. I need to practice lots, but I do see that positive is much more real when I don't ache so much. I need to work on it more to get there more. And you know what, Helen, the research paper I was just working on talks about how stress rejection. Fear of rejection is the pain that comes from rejection is the same pain pathways in the brain as physical pain. And so chronic rejection can create physical pain in the body. And I know what you've been dealing with those not so nice people in your life could be contributing to that. So consider that, adding some extra self-acceptance and knowing that you are worthy to be loved and loved on, to help also alleviate some of that pain. Kimberly says, feeling held and guided to freedom from getting out of my own way. Hey, so good. I'm glad, Kimberly. Deanna says, yes, Dan's disappointment was huge for me on fear of trying. Hey, I'm glad. I'm so glad. I love it. All right. Self-trust is what we'll be clearing next. And by clearing, I just mean helping you gain some self-trust. Releasing anything that is preventing an ease of trusting yourself. Fear, deep breath in. I release all fear with self-trust. Exhale. Guilt, deep breath in. I release all guilt with self-trust. Exhale. Pressure, deep breath in. I release all pressure with self-trust. Exhale. Shame, deep breath in. I release all shame with self-trust. Exhale. Uncertainty, deep breath in. I release all uncertainty with self-trust. Exhale. Belief, deep breath in. I release all blocks with belief with self-trust. Exhale. Compassion, deep breath in. I release all blocks with compassion with self-trust. Exhale. Receiving, deep breath in. I release all blocks with receiving with self-trust. Exhale. Support, deep breath in. I release all blocks with support with self-trust. Exhale. I was like, did I say that right? Okay. All right. That's all that is coming up for me for that. How's that feeling, Jen, especially? Thank you, Nicole. I didn't know that rejection is experienced in the brain just like the physical pain. I needed to know that. That's huge. Yep. It is. It is. And it is huge. This is like a lot of my healing is getting an understanding of how the brain works, which is why I'm so addicted to learning about the brain. But to be honest with you, I started learning about the brain more just because my grandma had dementia, but it has opened up the door to so many other things for me. Thank you. You're welcome, Jen. How's it feeling? Feeling better? Thank you for the corazones. And everyone, how are you all feeling? I hope lighter and open and clear and all the things. Drink water, move your body. So just a heads up, moving energy like this can create, you might need a nap, you might find yourself tearing up or yawning, you may feel extra emotions sometime throughout the day that don't make sense, and it's just because that energy is still moving. So yeah, drink water, give yourself some extra grace and extra love today, and yeah, you should be good. Take a deep breath, drink water. Absolutely so. Speaking of brain, thank you for your link to the test, what type of brain one has. Now I know I have type 1 brain. Nice. Thank you for providing that link on your page. You're so welcome. You're feeling supported for an upcoming conversation. Awesome, Kimberly. You may also want to check out yesterday's read. We read chapter 18. 18 was about relationships. That may be helpful as well, Kimberly, if you weren't here yesterday. I can't remember. If you popped in and I didn't see you, I apologize. Felicia says, thanks all, bye. Gonna do some yoga. Thank you, Nicole. You're so welcome. That yoga is going to be extra beneficial after doing that clearing. If you go to my, nap sounds amazing, right? If you go to my my profile link here, and you'll see my YouTube channel. It's like the 5th or 6th one down. As soon as I find it, hold on. Do I have my other phone? Yeah. I know there's a way I can share my phone on the screen, but I haven't figured that out yet. I'll play with that next time. taking its time coming up. All right, yeah. So anyone not familiar with how the app works, go to my profile and click about, and that link at the bottom, it has a whole bunch of different links on there. And the tubular link is, I think, the 5th or 6th one down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 6th one down. And you'll see the icon for it. And you can catch any chapter that you've missed or re-listen to a chapter that you may want some more information on. Jen says, feels good, and I know I still have so much more work to do. It's not fun work, but it's so on the other side of that, the way it feels, it just, for me anyway, I want to do more. I want to do more. It sucks ass going through it though. And when it's painful going down, it's painful coming up. It's just, but it's so worth it. Nice pick, Steph. Oh, and do a little dance to Stevie Wonder's song Positivity. I love it, Stephanie. Yes, yes, yes. Right time, right place. Good, Kimberly. I'm so glad. I love that. Thank you. I feel lighter. Awesome, Laura. I'm so glad. I will join a yoga class in a couple of hours after a yummy nap. That sounds so perfect, Tatiana. Like the best Sunday ever. I love it. Oh my goodness. And who? I know there's a bunch of people I've not said good now to. Kimberly, good now. A different Kimberly with a Y. Vanda, good now. Deanne. We have two. We have Deanne, Deanna. Good now, love. Grace Ann, good now. Sarah V.E., good now. Best Sunday ever. Octavia says first time here and I love it. Thank you so much. Looking forward to practicing these tools. Yay! Octavia, do check in. Let me know how it goes. I do have a group here on IT, so if you ever want to check in there, like say what's up, what's going good, what you're struggling with, feel free. You've got me and the whole community that's in there. Robin says it's not pouncing on you with love. Robin, how do you say it? Are you still here? She's like, it's not pouncing. It's, I think, hugs is what she said. Good now, Heather. And thank you, Haley, for loving on Octavia. Jamie says, when I'm in pain, I take deep breaths in and collect the pain into the breath, then blow it out in a way like I'm blowing through a straw or on a fire. That's so awesome, Jamie. Make it out breath longer than the in breath. It helps slow down and regulate the nervous system. Thank you, Jamie. Such a great tip. I need to add that to the document. Where do we find the other chapters? Grace Ann, my love, if you go to my profile, click about and go to the link there. It's the 6th one down. It's on my YouTuber. And I have a playlist specifically for the book read. And you can check that out. And if you are listening to a chapter and you have questions or thoughts or anything as you're listening to it, please feel free to post it in the comments. I keep those notifications on so I can respond to people relatively soon. Let's see. Kara says, divine timing for this information and connection. Awesome sauce. I love it, love it, love it. Helen says, oh my God, so right. This work is 2 steps forward and step back and a half. It just seriously sucks, but I'm keeping going. I know you are, and I love that. Thank you for continuing to keep going. It just, some days you're like, I'm on top of the world, and other days you're like, how did I fall under the world again? And then recognizing your response matters. So then you got to bring yourself back up. Like, why I got to be the bigger person? And pout and then get to a place of acceptance and then keep going. So nice to get the work started in community, Nicole. Absolutely. It makes it so much easier to keep going and fun. Awesome. I'm glad, V. You're amazing, Nicole. We should connect and watch our brains play. This has been amazing. I'm so glad, Deanna. I would love that. Hannah says, oh yes, Jamie, longer out breaths has massive effect. I love it, love it. Thank you for sharing your tips and experiences. It takes a community, like V says, it takes a community. I'm just here, I just opened the door for all of us to just have a conversation together. We are all a source of support and hope and knowledge and all the things. So I am so glad you all continue to show up. And I know I did not say good now to everyone just yet. Do I have 2 Mollys here? Good now, Molly. All my water drinking's got me burping. Who else? Fabio, good now, love. Marcy, good now. All right, loves. Any other thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, resistances? Good now, how cool. Thank you. Kimberly says, I am feeling so nourished by you. I plan to continue listening to other chapters. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm so glad. I could ask for nothing more. Thank you for holding the space, Nicole. You're so welcome, Tatiana. My honor and my pleasure. For sure. All right, my loves. If I did not say good now to you, please chalk that up to just me not remember who all I clicked on already. Good now, Susan. And if you would like me to say good now to you, because I would love to say good now to you and I hadn't, please put it in the chat. It is not you being selfish or asking for attention. It is me asking you, allow me to greet you. Good now, James. Debbie, did I say good now to you? I remember saying it in my head. I don't know if I said it out loud, that happens a lot too. So I may have said good now to you. You just didn't hear me. Good now, Alex. Good now, love. Thank you, Laura. Good now, Brianna. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always such a pleasure to spend time with you. You too, Jamie, love. Discussions with each chapter recorded is just as valuable as the book itself. Thank you. You're so welcome, Haley, and thank you for saying that. How about good now, my loves? That makes my tummy tickle. I'm so glad. Good now, Randy. Thank you all. I'm so glad. Thank you, everybody, for your care and patience. Please know I am waving a flag in your corner too, cheering you on. We do know that, Helen. That's why it's so easy to pour into you, because we sense it. That energy thing is a real thing. All right, my loves. Michelle, good now. Thanks much, Nicole. You're so welcome, my love. All right. Well, you know me. I will always end on a celebration of you. If I can get my balloons to come up. Where y'all at? Sometimes I'm too far. Sometimes I'm too close. Sometimes I blend in too much and the computer's like, I don't know you. I can't see you. Celebrating you for showing up for you. Doing this work is not easy, it's not fun, but it's so worth it. And because you're doing it, it helps the world. So thank you for showing up for you, because in so doing, you're showing up for the world, and I could ask for nothing more. Bye for now, Nicole and everyone. Bye for now, V. With all of that said, may you all create the most amazing now moments. Until I see you next time, make every moment count, because that's the only thing we have is this now moment. Thank you for saying that. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's why I always say inner mastery creates success, inner peace, and world peace. So thank you all for doing the work and helping me create world peace through inner peace, helping me create ripples of peace throughout the world through all of you magnificent souls. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Jai Guru Dev, victory to the greatness in you, and a reverence to all of the teachers who have come before us. And I will see y'all around. Much love to all from Soul. Good now to you as well, Deanna. Belinda, good now, love. All right. I will see you around the app, either in my live or another teacher's live. Ciao for now. Mwah. Happy rest of day to all. You too, Kimberly. Thank you, thank you. And to the beautiful souls on the tubular and I don't know how to do that. On the tube. Thank you for being here and choosing to hang out on this platform as well. Hope you got a lot out of it, and I'll see you around. Ciao for now.